This channel, my life, and everything has been chaotic, and that needs to change. Hello, everyone. This is Emmarie, and welcome to Spiritually Emmarie. This channel used to be called Emmarie Tarot, but it's going through a bit of a rebrand, and this video is all about explaining why that is happening and what it means for you. That way you can find out if you want to say subscribed, if you want to turn on notifications because something major is happening, and anything else you need to know about this situation. So let's give some context. So recently I have been sick. I have a chronic illness called non-24-hour sleep-wake disorder, and essentially the normal person has a 24-hour day. I have a 24-and-a-half-hour day. Every 2 to 8 weeks, I cycle through the entire clock, meaning I live through every time zone on Earth, and I wake up at a different day. I have to change my schedule every day. It is absolutely maddening, but it's not just a productivity challenge, it is also a challenge on my body. It means all the systems in my body are on an unpredictable time schedule, or they are aligned to my 24-and-a-half-hour day, and this actually caused my subclinical hypothyroidism, which is something that doesn't have to be treated, to be something that needs to be treated with medication. And unfortunately, for the last year, I have not been medicated correctly. What this meant was that I was fatigued beyond all measure. I had intense brain fog that made it really difficult for me to plan ahead, for me to be consistent, sometimes for me to even comprehend what I was looking at. And this was very frustrating. This was very debilitating. This was almost very depressing. Normally, I'm a very happy person, but this made me not so happy. The good thing is, though, that I am finally on the mend and I am starting to feel normal again, which is so exciting. I am back to having a chipper mood and I'm able to work again, and I'm able to work consistently, and I am loving that. But as I am looking at my life, as I am looking at the crash of my entire work content creation, my tarot, this channel, it has just been a complete disaster. And now I need to fix that, and I'm going to be fixing that with some rebranding. But why am I doing a rebranding? Why don't I just do what I was doing before? It has happened in the past when I felt sick. I could just restart what I was doing, but because of AI, that's no longer possible. Before, I used to focus on Medium and on my blog, and I was able to earn money from royalties, and I was able to make money off of AdSense, and I was able to get tips and traffic to my Etsy shop to make money from that, and I had a stable, humble life that I quite enjoyed. But because of AI, that just doesn't work anymore, and I need to switch to video, which is why I am here now, which is why I am showing my face. It was always something I wanted to do, YouTube, but to be honest, I never planned to show my face beyond my profile picture because I don't really consider myself to have a TV face, but I'm not so vain and I don't have such a lack of confidence that I wouldn't be willing to show my face. And so even though I don't have the best looking face in the world, I do think it is important so that way I can relate to you, so that way you can trust me, and that way you will know that I am just not another text AI tarot reader, but someone who really wants to help you co-create with the universe using your free will, through tarot, through your spiritual journey, and that is what I'm definitely going to be doing with this channel, this time with my face. One thing in particular that I'm going to do, other than focus on YouTube in general, is I'm going to have a live podcast. It's going to be called Spiritually Emmarie, surprise, surprise. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to talk about random spiritual topics, tarot, anything that comes to mind that I think would be useful to you. But I'm also going to be answering viewer questions who are in the chat, either a tarot question, you can ask a card and I'll answer it through tarot, or a general question like, do you have spirit guides? How do you connect to your spirit guides? Something like that. That is what I would answer on the podcast. But I am sure if you remember the sleep disorder I just talked about and the irregular schedule, you are probably wondering, how is that going to happen? How is a live show going to happen? Well, it's going to happen erratically, and this is why I am recommending you to turn on your notifications. Now, while you can't actually log in for each podcast, no matter where you are in the world, eventually the podcast is going to be running when it is convenient for you to watch it, when it is convenient for you to send a question. So whether you are in America like I am, whether you're in India, New Zealand, eventually the podcast is going to be at a perfect time for you, and you won't have to wake up in the middle of the night in order to watch it. But if you don't want to watch it live, or if you can't watch it live because it's not at a good time for you, that particular showing, I am going to be cutting up the podcast into thematic clips. So any question or any topic that I cover that I think is going to be relevant for a general audience, it will be on the YouTube channel itself, which should be pretty exciting for everyone. But what about this particular channel? So I am going to be doing more pick-a-cards, but I'm also going to be doing some channeled readings, which if you haven't ever done one of those before, those are those tarot readings that show up in your YouTube recommendations that seem for a very specific person. And it's just, if you feel connected to that reading, you watch it. They don't work for everybody, but I do find that it is a really good way to reach people. I'm also going to be doing some zodiac tarot readings, and I may do some other content such as world events, teaching tarot. Maybe I'll do vlogging one day. The possibilities really are limitless, and we're just going to go where it makes sense at the time. But more exciting is that things are going to get more dynamic. You can't see it, but I actually do have an overhead clamp that has been what I've been using for my pick-a-cards in the past, but eventually I'm going to add a second camera, so that way when I am doing the podcast or when I'm doing tarot readings, I can switch from a face view to a top view, and that way you can get a more dynamic situation. Obviously, better lighting, maybe a better filming location in the future, but things are going to get better over the months and years as I get more skilled with YouTube itself. Anyway, my soul friends, I am so happy and excited to really grow this YouTube channel. It's unfortunate that I'm not going to be doing as much medium and blogging content, but I am excited to do video. I am excited to be face-to-face with you. So be sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, that little bell symbol for the future podcasts. You can also go into the comments and description of this video to check out my Ko-Fi, my Etsy shop if you want to book a private reading, anything else that is important to know to connect with me. But otherwise, what I would like to end with is to ask you in the comments, what is something you would like me to do a video on? Or for my future podcast, what is a general question you would like me to answer about spirituality? Otherwise, my soul friends, I can't wait to get started, and I am looking forward to finding out our lives together using spirituality.